Hello and welcome to part 2. Previously on part 1 I briefly mentioned about going to the video store and renting movies, where I used to rent the cheaper ones because the latest blockbusters ones would have been more expensive to rent. I'm talking about movies what could have been nearly coming onto TV and all that lot. So when I got the cassette home and you get all these trailers, there was always one trailer that seemed to appear, the movie Hired to Kill. And Hired to Kill gives me my imagination thinking of Aspires of the Dirty Dozen, but with ladies. Now Dirty Dozen is a movie what's based maybe on the true events of the Filthy 13 back in the Second World War, what gave the inspiration of Quentin Tarantino to make Glorious Bastards. And talking about video stores, we all know Quentin Tarantino worked in one, and he did that famous film Pulp Fiction, where he had a story about Fox Force 5, and that gives me that back to that idea of thinking of Hired to Kill, because I start explaining what happens in this movie. I mean, I should really nickname the movie as the Half a Clean Dozen, because it's like a bunch of women what are going into a mission to kill a famous actor, because this British actor was sort of a problem. Because when I used to ask my video store if they were going to ever buy this movie, they wouldn't, because they won't do it because of the actor Oliver Reed. He had such a terrible reputation. He was on TV chat show hosts being drunk. I mean, when I was young, I tried to sort of briefly explain that I was sent to bed by my parents because Oliver Reed came on with Michael Aspel's show, drunk out of his head, and he does come out with comments about women. And this movie is about a bunch of women what want to, well, they're being hired to kill Oliver Reed.
A woman will never ever forgive a man that he fucks her. She is a receiver.
Never forgives him if he doesn't.
I'll buy that, sir. I'll buy that. So we walk in every plank, in every regiment, in every corps, in everything. But you are the receivers. You take our seed, you look after our babies, and we'll go do the hunting for you.
So Oliver wrote his philosophies in his biographies, and here's an example of one of them.
In his 1979 autobiography, he wrote, "I like women in their place. I like them on their knees in the kitchen. In return, I feed them, wine them, make them laugh, and give them a punch on the nose when they need it." He wasn't entirely joking.
But Oliver didn't care what he actually said. He just spoke his mind, and you can tell by the influence it was reflected in this movie.
Why are you doing that with your mouth? You're trying to kiss me.
Michael, if you have anything to say to me, now is the time.
So I mentioned the love scene or the rape scene, but my focus is more paying attention to Brian Thompson with that mound of little drip of sweat on the end of his nose and the expectations of waiting it to drip off into that lass's face. But never mind that, he's got more things to worry about. Who is he working for? What are they? Well, they're not the CIA.
What's wrong?
We? Am I talking to one man or a company?
We're talking about the CIA. The answer is no. It's far beyond their scope.
So it's not the CIA. Who is the one with the power to get these ladies out of prison?
I've been convicted of murder, conspiracy, and treason, including defection to the rescues. Now, how's that for a resume? How much of it's true? Delete the defection. All of it.
The CIA is willing to lose your phone.
So it ain't no problem for these people to get somebody out of a Turkish prison.
I'm in this shit pile for smuggling 20 kilos of pure heroin. This ain't no Hilton, friend. It's a Turkish slammer. Now, just how the hell can you bebop in here and spring me?
None of your business.
Hey, lover. I wasn't talking to you.
Catches your ass is mine. Make a wrong move, you're dead. If the bad guys don't get you, I will.
You're not even in my league, shitface.
Get out.
It's me.
So they get their knife expert, what reminds me of Mia from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, they've got her loaded.
The next woman I explained is being blackmailed to do the mission, and she's already a photographer, so she knows the business.
I'm through with all that.
I'm afraid you're not. How do you go on a little Mediterranean cruise with us? Dance a little, kill a little, have a barrel of fun. But every camel jockey from here to Mecca is going to be blowing smoke up your pretty ass.
Diane may be the one what's getting blackmailed, but she is helpful.
Look, I'm not geared for girl talk, Diane. Make your point.
All right. Point is this. All the rest of them have a reason for being here. They had a choice. Me, you blackmailed. You fucked up my life. So, if I were you, I'd keep an eye on Dahlia.
Kind of you to warn me.
And the other two what have been sent by the company.
I believe you know Miss Rogers.
Hi, Frank.
And this is Miss Wells.
And we all have to be suspicious of Miss Wells because she can't take Ryan's attitude and criticism that well.
Well, Beverly Hills. You got a powder puff, are you, kid?
And the last lady, the blonde one, is Sheila. It's his ex-girlfriend.
I think we better clear the air right now.
I was dead, Sheila.
I took this job only because you were involved.
This time you're getting paid. You mess up, I'll cancel your check, I'll break your neck, or both.
As we mentioned about their relationship is like friends with benefits, because Ryan wants her to focus as a professional soldier and the mission.
Cut the crap, Sheila. If you don't con me, I've been watching you. You've lost your edge. Find it. Fast.
It seems to put a lot of strain on their relationship.
Stop dragging your ass, Sheila. I love you too.
But then we get on about mentioning what happens to Sheila. Yes, she's actually the first one what gets killed. So we get rid of all that complicated rubbish of relationships and all that lot. But she has a nice, lovely send-off. Even we got our backstabbing woman, the betrayer of the company lady, we still got to keep eye on. So the funeral goes and everyone's sad.
Goodbye, Sheila. We'll miss you. You're still alive. Keep it that way. I lost a soldier. I can't afford that.
And the mercenary spirit again, eh?
That's what you're paying for. You're getting your money's worth.
Sheila! Sheila! Sheila!
So the sadness of Sheila being gone moves on with Ryan as he takes the frustration out on the other team members of the ladies what are out to save that old man to start the revolution of that country.
Brave. Brave is for fairy tales. This is real.
You're such a sweetheart.
Now move! Is it all right with you if we leave now, Miss Radowski? She is not. I don't need any shit from you either, hero.
I don't think you're crazy enough to shoot me in the back, but if you get any funny ideas, remember, I'm faster and better.
How do you know?
I get the big bucks.
As you know, Ryan is going to rub it in all the time about he's been hired, and like the title says, it's hired to kill. So, who is this old man?
To the people of Sagra, he's known as the Brother. He's a stubborn, extremely intelligent man. He ranges from liberal to hardcore leftist. I want to put him away 15 years ago. They can't kill him and they can't let him out. Either way leads to revolution.
It's like I mentioned, the title of the movie gives it away. So, what do you think he may do on that mission when he finds the old man?
All right, pal. I'm coming to get you.
You have to realise that Ryan is a mercenary, so he does come with his political speeches.
All right, let me give you a brief lesson in caring. Man kills for money and power. That's the way it has always been, that's the way it'll always be. Causes, revolutions, country, it's all icing on the cake. Watch your revolutionary buddies when they're in charge. They'll kill each other and probably you, for money and power.
Ryan's philosophy, being a mercenary, is very simple. It's just all about the paycheck.
I can be tough on you, you can be tough on me.
I also wanted to thank you for coming on our side.
I had good motivation. My paycheck.
You will be getting sick and tired of Ryan talking about his paycheck and he's being a mercenary, but we've got to keep an eye on Miss Wells, what was brought by the company, because she starts sabotaging the mission straight away by starting fights.
Come on, kid, let's play some more. You know what's the trouble.
And deliberately trying to kill members of the team. And we briefly show a long-distance auspicious phone call she makes.
Too many coins. Long distance, right? Boyfriend back home, maybe. Why didn't she just use the phone in her room?
So our knife expert knows the way how to lip read and can easily find out what people are saying in their conversations. So that is a bit more of the plot of the movie. Even mentioning about being silent is their weapons for the mission they have to get their hands on.
You guys need to do some shopping. There's a couple slingshots and a few more serious pieces.
And you'll be wondering what them serious pieces gonna be. So, what is the story of their mission?
Alright, what's the story?
Artist is moving the brother tomorrow. So far, he's had to keep him in prisons where no one would know. But because of the fear of revolution and recent unrest in the army, the decision was made to move him to a new high-security prison.
But to get him there, they have to go by convoy, but they have to stop at an old abandoned military place overnight, as they explained.
They will have to spend one night here, in the Salt Fortress, in abandoned military installations. This is where it'll be easy to get.
Easy? Inside a fortress with 30 or 40 men? That's what I call a piece of cake.
So, how we left it on part 1, they were on their merry way to do the mission. And another thing, how we left it as well, how the habits of this country sleep. They have a fiesta during the day.
But in my country, people take a siesta from 2 until 5, and then they work until 9.
As we know, Oliver Reeve mentions that the old country are very habited to have a fiesta between 2 o'clock up to 5 o'clock. That means his soldiers do as well. but they are somewhat a stay on guard, just a few, but most of them are all having a fiesta. As we see when they get off the lorry, they've got the sleeping bags and all that lot. What makes their mission quite easy? For somebody to go around with a cigar and planting explosives. But we're going to see some stunts finally, some more stunts, explosions, and all the action's going to start kicking off, and yes, and we might see what happens in this cover as well, yes, because if you notice the gun on that's one certain character's carrying that type of gun, and you'll be thinking, where's the snake come into it? Well, yes, you have to see the movie really, to find out, because it's very interesting what happens to our villain, Oliver Reed, yeah. So everything kicks off, explosions are going off, and
you will realise how cheap budget this movie actually is, and unfortunately that's how it is when it comes down to the cheapness of the movie.
So George Kennedy is actually old technology they use. They actually send a fax to our Oliver Reed, and he knows who he is. So he is the main security, and the best defense they've got is like bringing an entire army to where they are, but it seems like the army they've got is just one helicopter and a couple of guys at the edge, and that's what they send. So we see them breaking into this compound. Now this compound, we already mentioned that, but they went through the plans when they saw the fortune teller, and they had the model, and it was a piece of cake and all that lot to break in. Anyway, we've seen the mission finally happen, and they must have, you can tell it's a low budget movie because they had enough money to chop the grate, but not actually cutting into a padlock. That bit's sort of like, you see it nearly getting cut, and then it's cut. It's open. Sorry, yeah.
So the movie is low budget, yes, they've already got a padlock you didn't see getting cut, and one helicopter is their reinforcements, but you'd be thinking surely they've got a radio to get in contact so they can warn that they're going to get invaded by a group of ladies, and they do, but obviously the ladies are trained to be stealth. I mean, they've got their weapons, like I mentioned about their slingshot and their other secret weapon. Yes, it's just a crossbow, but they go in all stealth, and Ryan has actually explained to the ladies, don't go in all trigger happy. There's only one person what's allowed to do that, and that's bleeding him, because he goes in and starts shooting all the bleeding players up. So all the ladies' hard work, it was up for nothing.
Katrina with Dahlia, Joanna and Daphne, Lewis with Anna. I'll take the second floor. Watch for booby traps. Don't get trigger happy.
So as you know, he's sneaking about, and all of a sudden, he said to these women practically, if they mess up, he'll kill them if they fail and all that lot. And lucky enough, it's him what gets caught out, and he goes all trigger happy and starts shooting them with his great big Rambo gun and making all that noise. But not everybody wakes up until the first explosion happens.
So with Oliver Reed as the reinforcements been trying to get in contact with no reply, he thinks everyone is asleep.
Sorry, love. Wrong number.
Sorry, sir! The dog food must still be asleep, What?
So the helicopters turned up, but there's a load of rebel fighters and all that lot. I mean, this is the bit where, spoiler, the title of the movie actually gives you away. Hired to kill. He is actually there to hire to kill the revolution of the guy. Just let me saving the country. And he's been hired to do it.
It's better for their revolution.
Not much of a plot twist. I mean, it gives it away with the title. But there's great scenes where there's a woman throwing grenades, and if you pay attention how far the grenade hits the wall, and you think bleeding it, you know, but and we're all sleeping. That lady's managed to go around leaving explosives all over the place. So when the helicopter comes, they're holding everybody back. There's a guy in the tower, and obviously the picture of prison throws a grenade up and manages to get the guy. Good stunt. But there is a fortunate accident what happened in this movie. The actual helicopter, and there was a stuntman actually killed, and the helicopter actually crashed. So it's mentioned on the Blu-ray, but I ain't got the Blu-ray. I've got it on DVD, so there's no special features on it at all. Just the actual theatrical or trailer on it. That's it. But yeah.
So to speed it all up, the mission goes completely different. Ryan is being hired to kill the revolutionary bloke to come make him a martyr, but they have a backup plan, our bad guys. Yes, the lady what's been trying to sabotage, she's ready to execute the guy, and Ryan as well maybe, but she gets fumbled, all because of that lip reading mute. Yes, but she goes communicating to Oliver Reed, but he's not happy, so he sends his men just to execute her, and simple as that. So, who was Ryan working for? Who is this company man?
Hello? Yeah, wake you up, Dad. Fine, you take care of yourself. Kiss Mother for me.
So the helicopter's pinning everybody down and nobody can't get away with it. But then the helicopter decides to more or less land and everybody gets off except the pilot. But then the pilot decides later on to undo his seatbelt and hover. Is he going to get out? But it doesn't matter. You know, Ryan, our hero, goes sneaking underneath the helicopter, grabs the guy, throws him out, and then manages to pull the helicopter down because it's in hover mode, and climbs in it and flies off. And our mute woman what sees the pilot climbing back on the helicopter, and she shouts out, "Ryan!" And he hears it, and he's like, "Oh no, there's a guy on the helicopter, what do I do?" I get a gun out and shoot at him. But he doesn't shoot at him, he just shoots twice, and the guy, I don't know, it's a stunt guy, and you see him jump off, and you know, but first I thought he shot him in the face, but obviously he won't be flopping his hands, you know, trying to land in water. So, okay, I'll go for that. So, as I mentioned, about Oliver Reed and the cover, and I am not going to mention what happens to that character, but I will spoil it for our other character. Yes, because we all know that the country gets saved, and they turn up right end of the movie with our character. Yes, you know, Mr. George.
Better be that way, because if you screw up, no matter what kind of bind you get me into, I'll get out.
What's his name?
And fancy security guards or not, I'll pay you a little visit.
Not to worry, Mr. Ryan. With any luck, you'll be back for my birthday, and we'll celebrate your success. and you'll collect the rest of your money.
So just be good. And Mr. Ryan, do be careful.
So it comes to the end of the movie. George Kennedy mentioned briefly about, you'll be here maybe for my birthday party. Well, next thing we hear him coming into a room and it's dark, it's like a surprise party. It's all them and they're like, happy birthday. And then you'll see this bit with him. Then the movie ends. So that is it. So, not very good at explaining it really. Well, there's some very terrible sexist, it's, I mean, maybe Oliver Reed had a bit of influence, like I say, maybe, and maybe that's why
it was complicated for me to explain simple things, like mentioning Michael Aspel with Giant Kittens. That's what it was like in the 70s for us. I mean, and Oliver, yeah, he did have a great big massive influence at them times, and love him or hate him, whatever, but there was a lot of people what liked the guy, especially when he died, and he has, a lot of members of public turned up, and there was a few celebrities. There were always something somebody had to say about the guy, and maybe Brian Thompson's career could have gone maybe further, but this is one of his major roles he had on his own movie, and but it's just one of them low budget movies. It's been made, it's always going to give him that appeal of the Dirty Dozen, and maybe Fox Force 5, because it's got the ladies with a certain skills and all that lot, and that's the closest thing I can think of that movie. Might have given Quentin Tarantino that idea of that, but it's just my opinions, and my opinions all, and as you can gather by seeing me, that my opinions are not the greatest. So on that, I will say farewell and thank you for watching, and hopefully there is more terrible movies I have.